Super. Just super in general. Gotta love a good super. Semicolon, close parentheses. Colon, open parentheses. Alright. Wendy's Outrage. Okay. I think I know what levels this might have been drawing inspiration from if I had to make a guess. Just if I had to make a guess now. Okay, so what's in there has to be? Right, I gotta jump. Thank goodness for fast retry. I was hoping I'd go a little bit quicker, but apparently not. Just gotta be... Wait, what? It's one of those? Okay. It's always one tick too fast. I don't like this. I can never get faster at waiting. It's not something I'm good at. Who did this? I don't know this person. It's one thing that's nice about Kaizo is Kaizo rarely makes you wait, and if you're waiting, you're usually doing it wrong. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, it is one of those. Lovely. Okay, how many blocks do I need to go out? That threw me off. How? Unless you get, like, full extension, that's gonna just come back by the time we loop back. Like, I don't even have full extension, it sticks around. I guess it's gonna collapse back. Oh, that's annoying! Okay, wait a cycle. Those bullet bills are the worst. I think this may be another one that may have missed the aiming for the original game difficulty bit. Alright, we made it up here for once. Now what? Oh, look, more RNG. Okay. Well, I can ameliorate that one. Do that, and get a mushroom. Alright, things are looking up for us. From watching you, Bullet Bill. Okay. Where am I? I can't scroll. Where am I going? Tricked me by not moving for a while. Dang it. Okay. You know, I didn't notice if they're animating or not. It's rather hard to tell. I only need 4. I can definitely make it around the corner. There we go. I forgot that those things were there. Okay. And I forgot to turn that off. Alright. 1 second. Okay, let us resume. Okay. Okay, now we're at least vaguely cooking. Was watching the wrong things. You know, I think aren't they animated in the original version too? That part isn't as bad as I thought it was. Wait. Duck. Basically, I have longer than I think I have for that, and that's what's throwing me off. And that's what I was trying to avoid. It's actually more useful to know when these are going to proc than it is to stop it from procking. Oops. That works too. Okay, fireball. Just forget they drop little things. Reason why they're my least favorite sprites. Wait. Ugh, okay. Alright, what else? What else is going on? I had to do some invoicing stuff today. It was a little bit annoying, but it's important for getting paid to actually fill out your invoices, as it turns out. Other than that, I had to do some compliance training, which was annoying, but was basically free hours for waiting around so that I could claim I did it. Back at me. But yeah, the compliance training was basically don't use AI, don't fail to mark sensitive data as sensitive, that kind of thing. So I wasn't planning on doing either of those things. Rather, it was quite easy. Okay. Yeah, I should just go there. Okay. I have successfully managed... Balls. Well, at least we're in the new spot. Oh, come on! Oh, it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna learn every single day. Every time I get a PB, it's gonna be I die a second later because of something I wasn't anticipating. It's gonna be one of those levels. I don't know why. When I do the friggin' bullet bills, I want to clip my jump and then I don't pay attention to where I'm landing. Okay. Four. Oh yeah, other good stuff on GDQ. They're doing Mario Galaxy. I think it's the Switch version this time around. So that should be an entertaining watch. Still debating whether or not I want to actually go in person. It could be fun, but the timing for it's not great. What's up, Shellsphere? How you doing? Okay, what now? Those look like death blocks. Is this 1F0? No, those aren't 1F0s. Those are actually line guides. Those are death blocks. Okay. Actually, I don't know. They could be hurt blocks. But yeah, the GDQ is the same week as MagFest. And MagFest's easier for me to go to by a non-trivial amount because I got family in DC. Whereas I don't have family in the left side of Pennsylvania, which is a surprisingly long state, as it turns out. Oh, crud. But in addition to that, like a week later, it's Mystery Hunt time. So that makes it a little bit hard to justify, because I'm going to be out there for a bit. Okay, just woke up. Nice. Because, yeah, Mystery Hunt this year is the weekend after MagFest. So basically, I go to MagFest, chill out for about a week in the DC area, and then ship myself up to Boston. So I'm there Thursday evening-ish. Probably take the train. Might take a plane. Depends on the pricing. I like the train, but the Acela can be really annoying, and last time I took it, I was deeply displeased. To be fair, it was taking the train from Boston to DC on Inauguration Day, which, as I've learned, is a terrible idea. That being said... There we go. Okay. Ah, dang. Can I? Nope, I can't bolt. I can't bolt that. Okay, you have to stand there. I was trying to juke it out, but it was not jukeable. This is like a confluence of a great number of things that are my least favorite things in SMW. The jumping flames, bullet bills. I actually don't mind the big old spikes. Okay, good. It went the right way. And blind jumps. Okay. Well, at least I didn't get hit by that. And waiting, yes. Waiting is also on that list. Alright, what now? What am I looking at? It's better not have two exits. There's gonna be a saw. It does help to know the hitbox of these things. Fish and booze missing to make it complete. How you doing, Swanch? That's a red one. Oh, you! You! Okay. Great. Can I get up here? Nope. It's a red one. Let it do its thing. Oh boy, I'm gonna die to this. I'm not gonna die to that. Okay, cool. I don't like what's happening here. Okay. Not as bad as I was expecting. I'm just waiting... Yeah. For the thing to start. Okay. Of course. What is this shape? No! I was watching the wrong thing. How long is this level? I have to look this person up. Where did that other... Wait, what? There's never two there. That's not how this level works. Okay. I guess at some point that one just frequently despawns for me. Great. Come on. It's a mug. You know, the funny thing is, I actually did think that, but I'm like, I just shouldn't say it. Alright. Okay, and then wait a cycle. Bounce! Okay. This one's shaped like Idaho. No, no. Oh. I misread that. It slams it faster than I think it does. It's his own private Idaho. Okay. I'll despawn the extended sprite, which is what I care about most. I can at least see the muzzle flash on that. Anyway. Alright. Duck. That just makes me sad. But yeah. We'll see. It would be cool to go, but like oftentimes as it is with these, what really matters is when the runs you want to go to or see are. And like, it's impossible to know that until they release the schedule. And so it's like, well, it would be cool to go and see this. But with the schedule, without the schedule being an unknown, and plus like the way that week is structured, more or less, the only way I'm going to see some of the runs will be if they are like literally on Monday or Tuesday. Because like I'll probably need to jet Wednesday-ish. Because I think MagFest starts. Please? No. At least I vaguely remember it being Monday-ish, or went Thursday-ish last time. And it's one of those cons where, like, nobody's there on Sunday. You're probably a lot happier not being there on Sunday. Just because, like, everyone's pretty much strung out. They're kind of just done. Okay. What this is telling me is I don't want to play AMST. Okay, cool. That is not far enough along. That's way too far. Ah, no, I'm making it worse. It's probably fine, actually. Alright. So now... That's longer than I thought it was. Oh! I mean, I could see the spikes. Why didn't I wait? I'm safe. I think I'd like this level a wee bit better if it didn't have this intro. It just kind of kills whatever momentum this level had. Up and down. So I was curious to see if anyone else YouTube had beaten had uploaded a Let's Play of The Lost Island of Atlanta. It turns out that not many people have, and I suspect the reason for that... They all fired at the same time. That was kind of cool. Is because of the website stuff. There we go. Which I've gone and done a decent job of restoring now. I think the game is almost to a point where it's reasonably playable using that website. There's only really 2 questions I still have, and I'm not really sure how the puzzles were going to relate to it. There's one specific puzzle where I just don't know what the answer is, and I still don't know why the answer is what it was. I think I just tried a random bullshit thing and it worked. Because there was a relatively small number of combinations, it wasn't so bad. But if there'd been a larger number of combinations, that would have been really annoying. But I would vastly prefer knowing why we were doing I did a thing, as opposed to... oh, come on, I do the short jump. Man, I wonder if this level will be easier with the Fire Flower. Brilliant. I got lucky there. I want this to be on the ascent. Oh, that was... oh, there was no safe spot to stand there. How effing long is this? Anyway. Some of the game is interesting, and I do wonder if, like, if you figured out the correspondence between the cuneiform on the bottles, if someone would have solved that last puzzle by collecting at least a few bottles and looking at them and being like, oh yeah, I get this now. As opposed to simply, well, I can brute force this, which is admittedly what I did, to some extent. You know, I used the information I had available to me. Though I do wonder, I probably should go check this. There is a resource earlier in the game that looks like it could have some, like, 5 of the things matched on it. And I didn't look at it too carefully. I did end up dumping out a lot of the image files and stuff from the binary itself, which is interesting, because it packages several different binaries together. Ah, crud. But, like, most of them are just, like, 2 animations. It was really weird looking. Actually, 3 of them were just specifically animations that were in their own little folder full of images. Basically everything in that game that spins. Which isn't much. 2 whole set pieces that do that. Okay. Well, crap. How that worked out. That looks fine. I probably could go on the same cycle. Okay. Now wait a cycle here. I'm just gonna wait. But yeah. Why did I? Well, being small here has an advantage, at least. And that I can go through here on first cycle without having to worry about those. Okay. I'm gonna just let the mushroom come to me. Now we're back at slamming. What was it? I just had a complete and utter brain fart there. I was like, what do I do now? And the answer was nothing, apparently. Alright. I don't think that's a safe spot to stand. What? Regardless, the most important thing I learned was the existence of that Mr. Pibb video game, which I'll definitely need to check out at some point. Because it looks hilarious. Like, very low budget Doom Chex Quest style thing, except you're drinking Mr. Pibb and burping in people's faces. Very 90s kind of idea. There had a lot of, like, gross out humor in the 90s that I don't think really transited into later eras. Aww. Alright, see you later, Matt. Sleep well. Whew. This is going to be most of the stream. I can already feel this. I appreciate at least that occasionally the level gives you some room to breathe, where there's not like 50 million things all trying for your head. I guess I could also do that. That would be fine too. Okay. Yeah, I'm at a point where I'm like not that worried about the timing of those guys. Still not happy, but not worried. Okay, cool. Next. Then we stand here. And then pray that that doesn't keep happening. There we go. Funny how that tree looks, like the trees get glitched in the 3 game. What? Or is it the, like, weird... Nice try. Well, I didn't at least die to that. Right, that's a safe jump, so I should just go the moment I have access to it. Still wonder what my life would be like if I got a fire flower here. It's been so close a couple times. Not close enough, clearly. Oh, it is still spinning the same way. Okay, now the Among Us. The one at the beginning? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Kind of like you can see underneath it because it doesn't go all the way down. Wait, what? Why'd it scroll? Okay, what do you want from me now? Oh, God. Down, up. Whew! Alright, well, got a midway. It's unfortunate, but we're not going to get to see that tree again. But you can see underneath. You can see your dress, like, right underneath the tree. Oh, lovely. Combining one of my other favorite features of the game. Making it so I can't see what I'm trying to do. Oh, those look evil. And hammers. No. What? No more beginnings. I mean, still kind of some. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna just wait. Nope, I'm gonna not wait. That is a mean jump. Okay, I didn't know if that... I still don't know if anything. That... Oh, come on! Layer 2, you are the worst layer. That was... Probably all very intentional by the level creator. He's really the answer here. I wanted to be playing Toho. Huh. Where'd he go? He just left. He was just done. I must go. My people need me. Oh, whoops. Alright, we respawn to the mushroom. Get up there! And we despawned the Wiggler and then got hit there. Okay. Wait, no. Ah! Like I said, I don't actually know this author, so I'm kind of surprised. Like, this isn't what I would personally want, but it's hard for me to say this is badly designed. Like, there's intent here. Okay, I gotta wait that. And compared it to the other incredibly hard level from this contest, I still prefer this one. I thought I'd... Apparently, no, I didn't do anything right there. We'll see if that feeling persists. Okay... I don't like those things. You never can anticipate what they're going to do until they've already done it. Because they work off of a weird-ass global timer. Okay, there we go. You know what? Beverage time. Beef jerky time! If only we could be so fortunate for it to be beef jerky time. Oh, right. I love that movie. Trading Places, one of Eddie Murphy's best works. How is he not dead? Okay, well, whatever then. Okay, definitely not whatever then. Just the sheer amount of ridiculousness that occurs in that movie. Especially the train scene. Not to mention, it explains how commodities work. In fact, I guess I'm still not entirely sure, but the idea is that futures exist, and therefore, therefore you can buy products that have not been created yet, and be on the hook for some, but not necessarily those specific ones later. Hey, you can actually have one of those. My expectations you weren't allowed. That kills you. Okay. Just run through there. I know I can run through there. At least those off themselves for us. Oh yeah, that was actually really cool news this week. Oh, that's not good. Someone just randomly posted the Splatterhouse JRPG to 4chan. One that had been thought to be kind of lost media. So people are already starting to go and try to translate it, which would be exciting. Ah, no. It looks kind of funny. Because it's much more in the style of, like, the Wampaku graffiti one. As opposed to the more serious Splatterhouse one, which is, you know, just kind of a omni-parody of all horror movies, slasher and the like. Yeah, should be one worth taking a look at in the near future. I love getting hit by things I can't see. Yeah, I haven't seen too much of the gameplay aside from a few, like, battle scenes. And what looks like one of the major components is, like, you get access to spirits by defeating them or buying them, and you can combine them into bigger attacks if you know the right combination. Which looks kind of cool and is an interesting idea for a, you know, JRPG on the friggin' OG Famicom. But some of the spirits are a little bit debatable. You know, they got, like, zombies and ghosts and things, and then they've got historical figures. A certain Austrian dictator is represented, of course, for some reason. He is also part of one of the, like, super attacks. And that one summons death, which kind of makes sense. But is also just kind of ridiculous in a game. Period. Just having Hitler as a summon is just kind of weird. Oh no! How do you do that part? You also don't get to keep the items I managed to take out. Oh. Hope the second section isn't as long as the first. He was a good boss in Frankenstein. That's true, actually. Or Wolfenstein. How you doing, Scarlet Knight Oni? I have to say, like, the sprite work for Mecha Hitler was quite well done in Wolfenstein. And he is a kind of hilarious final boss. No! Oh, no. Every part of that. So close on so many fronts and lost it. Wow, you've been following since December 5th, 2019. My 4chan was working so hard. They weren't. That's the thing. It was just a random thread. Someone just like, hey, I found this. Bam, done. Like, there was not, like, any notion of this. All the people knew about that game beforehand was a small, like, VHS tape worth of content that was sent to various, like, Japanese department stores or whatever to try to get them to carry the game, and then they never released it. So, I don't think anybody knew about the Hitler thing until, you know, like 2 days ago. When someone played the game and noticed that there was Hitler. And it wasn't even ambiguous. Like, he has his name in there. You could see him. He's got the mustache. Since it's 4chan, they posted a GIF of the attack itself. And yeah, he just sort of hiles into people and it hurts them. It's a very weird-looking thing. But certainly not remotely ambiguous. Okay. But moreover, I suspect it's just because 4chan tends to be a decent place to post leaks with better odds than not of getting caught. That's really what it comes down to. Boss in Persona 2? Huh, I didn't know that. I've never played any of the Persona games. I was hoping going fast there might work, but it's clear it's not going to. Okay, here we go. When do I get released? Honestly, I don't think it's the Hitler thing. I think it was a very late RPG. And the Famicom, it was 1993. So, like, it was just a very late time to release a new NES game. And also the 90s, as noted with Wolfenstein, people didn't quite have the same sort of thing going on. Definitely would have been more laughed off than anything else. There we go. I can't see where that is. Oh, I hate this so much. Like, I just gonna have to guess about the height there. Or... Thanks. I'm not going... No! 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 Oh, I didn't even know what I was looking at. But yeah, I just think 93 was probably a bit late for it. Seems the most reasonable of the excuses. Like, just as perspective, apparently Splatterhouse 3 was supposed to come out around the same time. I think Splatterhouse 3 was a Genesis game. You need Nintendo approval? Yes and no. Nintendo didn't have quite the same iron fist about the Famicom that they did with the NES. Mostly because the original Famicom didn't have a lockout chip. So people could manufacture their own cartridges. So an awful lot of companies had better deals on making Famicom games than they did NES games. I think this is still fine. They got there early, but it was okay. Just weird economics. Okay. Ugh. Am I safe here? I guess. Can't see a world where Nintendo would approve that in 93. Oh, certainly not for a United States release. Certainly not. But again, the standards in Japan were different. Oh, lovely. Wait, no! No! God! Dang it! Layer 2! No, that's a wall! I saw the thing on top of it and thought maybe I could land there, but no, that's a wall. But yeah, there was a much larger, like, hacker scene. I'm not landing on that now. In Japan, just because, again, no lockout chips. It just doesn't have one. And that solves an awful lot of problems. I do suspect that was probably why Nintendo ended up investing in that specific domain afterwards for the American release. I'm too late. How effing long is this level gonna be? guess also I should point out Wolfenstein came out on the SNES. I'm pretty sure they still had Hitler in it. Or maybe that was the one where they got rid of... I'm trying to remember if they had to replace the dogs with rats in that version. Of course, there's always Super Noah's Ark 3D, where I guess they had to replace Hitler with, like, Mecha Giraffe or something, which still doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest. But very little about that game makes a lot of sense. Especially the timing. Like, basically, games like Wolfenstein 3D kind of fell off everyone's roadmap the moment Doom got released. Like, the capabilities of Doom were so far beyond the basic Wolfenstein engine types. And there were a few of them by the time Doom came out. You know, the OG one. I'm pretty sure that, like, they also licensed it to a good number of companies who wanted to make their own games that were similar. I had to get hit there. I don't have a choice. Okay. Having been... Yeah, it's true. Won't deny that. No, I chose poorly. Next century games like Final Fantasy where prayer became wishes and holy became white, yeah. I think an awful lot of the standards were more of Nintendo of America. Because I know, like, I think in Link, there was also, like, crosses and things. Or, like, Zelda 1, I mean, not Link. It became Pearl in later revisions. I don't know if the first game had Pearl. I don't remember having Holy in any of the early ones, but when I played through them, but honestly, it's been long enough. Final Fantasy 4 and 6. I know 6 had made it Pearl. I want to say they gave it back as an element in 7. They were fine with that. To be fair, 7 went so many interesting places. Saying, oh no, we can't have the word holy would be a bit silly. Not to mention the fact that Aerith worked in a church. I hate bullet bills with a burning passion. Okay. Being small actually helps here. No, it doesn't. What's up, Curtis? Yes, I am passionate. I am mad! Mad about elves! Yeah, there was a cute webpage forever ago. I forget what it was, where it was, but it was one of the devs who worked on Maniac Mansion, talking about the changes that Nintendo wanted from them for the NES release. Don't want to listen to Dave. I don't know if it's around anymore. I feel like I've read it like... Oh, for Pete's sake. Holy frying pan, huh? Taylor Swift. I've only ever really listened to one Taylor Swift song, and it was one that was mashed up with this Brother Man Bill thing, which was kind of funny. I'm not really sure I understand the memetics behind it. Okay, that strat actually works. Okay, so the strat there now for me is to wait and watch the leftmost one, so I can know roughly when I need to be going. Oh, whoops. I want high tide. I want green grass and high tides forever. Castles of stone, soul, and glory. Oh yeah, that's the thing I gotta do tomorrow. I gotta vote. I thought I jumped. I was late. But yeah, I just need, because they have mail-in voting, I just need to fill out the pamphlet and then send it on in. Okay, that's why this particular strat sucks for this. The Goddess Gear 2, Goddess Bracelet and Ribbon, yeah. Like I said, Nintendo was not necessarily very consistent on this policy back in the day. No. There we go. It's high. Because I got high. There we go. I'm safe for a moment. And still safe. Waking up and getting ready to go to the game store with a buddy to play some cards. Oh, nice. How goes? Not bad. This level has been very Gauntlet-esque. Complete with a lot of challenges that brings, but it hasn't been too bad. I'm in the second section, which I think is still better than the first, at least marginally. Really wish I'd killed him with that, but at least the flamey dude's gone. Okay, and then the... Cherub's head. Cherub's band. Ah. But yeah, this level just has a lot of things I don't really love. I don't mind things that go up and down, but like I'm dealing with the RNG-ness that bullet bills somehow always provide. But basically, I'm just playing this as if it's a Kaizo level, memorizing every move I want to make. And it's kinda working? I guess I said kinda working, I didn't say really working, but you know. What's up, Hawaluta? How you doing? In funny news, I spent at least a little bit of time, both yesterday and today, working on finishing up the swapper for YouTube, because I'd forgotten about it and it was sitting there in my to-do pile. It's a lot. A lot to do. There's 2 of them. Alright, that was one of them. Hog swapper. Indeed. Okay, now this part. Okay. Please? Okay. These are red. Which means I got dread. Alright, what do we got now? It's Wendy with egregiously long fire bars that are desunk from each other. Dear God, after all of that, and of course Wendy doesn't even spawn over here. If it doesn't put me back in this room. Okay, I was about to say, if it doesn't put me back in the room, I am done with this. I am not going through all that anytime I want to try to fight Wendy in this fucked up room. Ugh. Play 5-color mono dragon. Mono red dragon. What? I will be playing... Okay, not there, but okay, so the RNG is the same. Just have to figure this out. Wendy's 3 hits. I can get 3 hits in this. Okay, I need to jump over both at the start. Okay. One. Then I don't know what I need to do. I needed to bounce high off of her. Okay. Like I said, I'm taking this like a Kaizo level. I'm just doing it. Writing out instructions for myself and then trying to follow them. Thankfully, because of how this RNG works, now that we've hit the retry, this won't be quite as bad. Probably just need to survive a couple more. And there we go. That's not that bad. You know, at least it gave me a mushroom. But Christ on a cracker. When did I start that? This was... It was only an hour. Yeah. Alright, so what did that get me? Nothing. I swear I even saw some other blocks. I don't know what to think about that. Thanks for the GGs. I don't think that level took the prerogative correct here, in the sense that the difficulty was a lot higher than it probably should have been. I think that's just the kind of level that I personally don't like, but it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of the judges, being more old school, actually really like this. Because as Olga mentioned, like, it's reminiscent of older, kind of more, frankly, more bullshit hacks. And some of them might actually like that. I don't, but some of them might. So yeah, I don't know where this will end up. It's probably going to be... I'm willing to bet this will have a really large spread. That's the one thing I'm willing to be confident on about this one. I'm still kind of hoping that Idle will release the results sooner than later, so I don't have to go through the effort of, like, making my own spreadsheet with names in them, because I don't want to do that. But yeah, interesting level. It certainly embodied the themes of those two levels. Like, I felt like Wendy's Castle, and I felt like Outrageous. Those were very well integrated, but it's also one of those, like, integrate. I love Wendy's Castle, but man, I could leave Outrageous forever. I don't love Bullet Bills. I don't love Leaping Flames. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah, I think the second section I liked a bit more than the first, though. And the Wendy fight was just silly. I'm so glad there was a midway there. But that fight was just silly.